Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Whenever something really cool does take place, you get 30 seconds of fame, and then you're already into the next one, So you don't really get to reflect very much, and even Annette and I have talked about that. Things are so fast, and you're constantly moving from one thing to the next thing. And so, yes, I will do that.
Barton Community College played host to Cloud County Wednesday night in Great Bend. Both teams coming away with wins in the women's game. Lady Cougars 64-59. In the men's game, the Cougar men able to hold on to a 90-84 final.
Low pass, read well by McDaniel. One-on-one, uses what works. He snuck it past Newman.
We got stops tonight. I was able to run, which always helps. It frees me up. But yeah, it was definitely nice to see the first few go in, and then the bucket gets bigger from there.
I think we've improved a lot. I think we've made things a little bit more simple. We still have a lot we need to work on, but I think it's kind of night and day from when we first started. And yeah, we just kind of simplified things.
I think that our defense has improved a lot. Like, we continue to work on our 1-3-1, and we work on our man and boxing out and everything.
I would say the way we play as a team. I mean, coming out against Salina South, our first game, a lot of us haven't played together. A lot of us are pretty young, but I think the way that we play together, we trust each other more with our passes, with our shots, knowing each other's strengths and weaknesses, getting people out in tough situations. We just play as a team better.
Everyone's responding to these accounts and letting them dictate the narrative that are simultaneously saying this: the games are rigged, the fix is in, can't wait till they lose next week. Hey, idiots, if the game's rigged, you can make a lot of money betting on this team, as I have throughout the season.
Amen to that, idiots. Welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. The talk of the town. Welcome in Thursday Sports Day show. Steve Webster joined by Mike Corson and our executive producer, Landon Winkler, on the program today. That will feature Great Bend Panther basketball coach Kyle Creed. He'll be in the Mayo Money Management Studio to preview tomorrow's rivalry home game against the Hayes High School Indians. Hoisington Cardinal Wrestling Sisters.
I got Nevaeh and Trinity Graves coming in. Also dancers, cheerleaders. We have 3 cheerleaders coming in.
Oh, no, wait, that's the next thing, so I've got to go to that. I thought we added a wrestler.
Nope, cheerleader.
I was going to say, well, they did another sister here past the last 24 hours. Okay, so 2 Hoiston wrestlers coming in, and Mike Corson today will go on the prowl for Panther Sports, and good lineup here today.
Got cheer sponsor Sarah Burkhead, and she'll be joined by cheerleaders L. Ann Reed, Leah Mai, and Briley Richter.
Okay, so Thursday sports headlines, and of course the popular sounds of the past 24 hours or so. Great Bend native Curtis Hammocky, part of the Hammocky pitching tradition of Great Bend. Yeah, Colt, his brother was the one that drew fear from the Pratt Legion baseball team when we came up here back in the day because we didn't want a Hammocky to be pitching when we played against him. Well, this is Curtis. He wasn't a bad baseball player either. Then got into administration. Announced last week he was stepping down as the athletic director at Fort Hays State University on the program yesterday. And I guess he kind of summed it up kind of the way it is, I think, for everybody. It's like, okay, we're getting ready. We go get a sports day show, and we get it all lined up, and then it's over with, and you can't really look back and say, man, that was a good, because you got to get ready for the next one. So all the projects and everything that he's helped bring to Fort Hays State, the teams, the coaches, it's always on to the next thing. He says he'll hopefully have a chance to look back and reflect once he's out of the hot seat.
And if you think about 21 years is a long time, so I went to school there, but it's been over 21 years. About 21 years, and if you drive through that campus and see the things that did not exist when I was there, even the baseball field and I'm pretty sure the track didn't exist on the other side of the highway.
Oh, no, nothing there.
And then, you've got the massive structure right there by Lewis Stadium Field, and I think there's probably been renovations at Lewis. And it'll be curious now, like he said, that Hayes High is not going to play there, so I probably won't have a whole lot of reason to go down there, but going to cover up that track and be a whole turfed facility.
Yeah, it's going to be sweet. And they've got the locker rooms going in on that one side, or on the – it's always weird because that field is – I guess it'd be on the south end. But when you go around the bypass, you always get screwed around the way that field sets, it seems. But, yeah. And so Curtis Hammocky, great that he was on here today. He's had a great career. Started out at Barton Community. He was an assistant baseball coach and sports information director for Mike Warren. And Curtis was always great because he had these big jumbo hot dogs at the concession stand then. And he'd always bring me a dog before the Cougar basketball games began back in the late 1980s.
Okay, so I used to clean Tom Spicer's office. Did you actually work under Curtis, or was it all Spicer?
It was Tom Spicer,
okay.
Yeah. But I think, I was trying to think, anyway, yeah, he left for a little bit, but anyway. Good stuff with Curtis Hammock yesterday. Cole Reif had the calls last night on B104.3 The Point with the wrap of the Cougar victories. Barton men win 90-84. Barton women win 64-59. So the Barton women continue to make a run here late in the season. They've won 5 of 7 since the Christmas break. And the Barton men, Jeremy Combs setting his starters for almost 14 minutes in the second half. They had a lead, and then Cloud took a 2-point lead late. Starters came in, and they rallied to get the victory. So that'll be interesting to talk to Jeremy about that on the show tomorrow. Interesting night of the Jayhawk League on the men's side last night. Cowley, who had lost only twice all season, they got drubbed by Dodge City 100-75 last night on the road in Dodge. And Dodge has not had a great season. They were just 4-10 in league play coming in. So Coffeyville took advantage to beat Independence 103-74. So Cowley and Coffeyville now tied atop the Jayhawk standings.
Think that's the flu?
Never. It could be. Everybody else is out. They've got like 42 students gone from Holy Family Elementary School in Great Bend today. They're just falling like flies all over.
You run your recorder at meetings and you get back and listen to it, and half of it's coughing. You're like, didn't even notice that while I was in there, but everybody was sick. I'm sure it's coming.
K-State Wildcats seem to be finding their way. They've won 2 straight, and they rolled last night over Oklahoma State. The call on ESPN Plus, Doug McDaniel taking an errant Oklahoma State pass to the other end for a layup. That put K-State ahead 30-18 in the first half. Kansas State wins 85-57 thanks to 5-for-5 3-point shooting from Brendan Hassan, who scored 18 points in the game. Then you took Coleman Hawkins. I don't know if you saw that play. The shot clock was winding out, and the pass got by him. It was right in front of the Oklahoma State bench. He just turned and heaved it. It was that kind of night for K-State because it went right. It was bottoms. And then Hawkins right in front of the bench, of course, looked at their bench and said, ha, ha, ha. So K-State wins. They now head to Ames Saturday to take on third-ranked Iowa State.
See how that goes.
All right, Lady Panther basketball. Shayla Prendergast in yesterday. Catherine Mazook talking about the improvement that has been made with the Great Bend Lady Panthers. It's been slow at times, but they are playing better, and both of them looking at the better defensive play by the Lady Panthers. Now, all that improvement may not show tomorrow night because Hayes High is in, and I'm going to share some of the video with you. That game against Wellington, that was an entertaining game. Wellington was like in 4A. No one was supposed to touch him. And Hayes beat him 74-72. So Hayes will be in town tomorrow to take on the Panthers in the girls' game. And then the 4th-ranked Panther boys go at it in the boys' contest. But, yeah, if you want to see some good basketball tomorrow night, head on out early. Catch that girls' game. Hayes High's got a freshman that's pretty good, too. So Great Bend Lady Panthers with their hands full tomorrow night. Other games in the Western Athletic Conference, Woodward, Oklahoma. Why don't we get Woodward and Alva Woodward and Hooker into the Western Athletic Conference? Because Liberal and Dodge City play a full league schedule against them. Liberal will host Woodward tomorrow. Dodge City boys are in Alva, Oklahoma, while the Dodge girls will be at a tournament in McPherson. I believe they play Hutchinson tonight in their first-round game. Central Kansas League basketball, there was a game tonight. Smoky Valley's at Russell. Then tomorrow, Bueller is at Heston, Minneapolis at Hillsboro, Nickerson plays at Pratt, Hoyston and Larned, both with the night off. Central Prairie League, Ellenwood playing at Lions. Lions girls basketball team probably thankful that it's a home game tomorrow night. Otis Bison is at Sylvan United, Wheatland Grinnell at Ness City, and La Crosse plays at Victoria. And some other area games. Ellsworth will be on the road at southeast of Saline. New rankings out this week from the Kansas Basketball Coaches Association. Great Bend Panthers moved from 6 to number 4 this week. Number 1, Highland Park. They are undefeated. KC Piper is number 2. Cape and Mount Carmel, who beat number 1 Wichita Collegiate by 30 in the championship game of the Blue Stem on Saturday. They're number 3, and then it's Great Bend, Bonner Springs, Topeka West, Andover, who moved up a slot. They were ranked 8th last week, lost to Great Bend by 16, and they moved up to number 7. So
the coach is
thinking, well, okay, yeah, it's Great Bend's not bad.
You only got beat by 16. You're awesome.
But they also beat Salina South by 52 the night before. Shawnee Heights, number 9. KC Washington is number 10. Some other area teams. It's kind of confusing with this one. Pratt, still ranked number 7 in Class 4A, ahead of Andale. Hoyston beat them on Saturday in the Hoyston Winter Jam. 3A boys, Haven, the only team to take down the Great Bend Panthers this year. They're number 3 behind Collegiate and Goodland. Collegiate stays number 1. They got beat by 30 by Cape and Mount Carmel. So they get some street cred there. Heston from the CKL 6. Sterling boys remain number 4 in 2A. 1A, Central Plains boys up to 4. Maxville is number 5. 1A Division 2. Hodgman County boys still ranked number 8. Girls rankings, Hayes moves up to number 2 in the rankings this week behind Topeka Seaman. Wellington girls were number 1. They're now number 2 behind Topeka Hayden after that loss to Hayes. 3A girls, Heston, number 1, Halstead, number 2. Haven, who had been number 3, has dropped down to number 8 in the rankings. The Ellenwood girls still in the 2A rankings. They're number 9. Little River girls, number 1 in 1A Division 1. Central Plains, number 5. St. John staying in the rankings this week at number 10. And the Hodgman County girls are number 4 in 1A Division 2. And finally, what a great line. I heard this from another place yesterday, too. Kansas City apologist and host of First Things First on FS1, Nick Wright, appearing on the Dan Patrick Show. He's buying a new watch with the money he's made from betting on the Chiefs this season. And there's been a lot of that out there. That, well, the NFL, they just want the Chiefs to win. The referees are... So, and I'm losing money. Okay, so you've got this conspiracy theory in your brain that the Chiefs, right? I mean, the NFL wants them to win. The refs are cheating just so the Chiefs can win. And then you're stupid enough to go out and lay money against the Chiefs when you're betting. Shut up.
And I was thinking, because I always think spreads, because I like the spreads because that's an indication of how close the game should be. But yeah, you can do the money line where you have to bet 200 to make 100. Well, if you think it's rigged, throw down your $200 to make $100.
Why are you betting against it?
So he played the guessing game with how much. So allegedly, I think it's like $30,000 so far, and if he wins the Super Bowl bet, it will be over like $62,000 this year. Got me rethinking my career.
Yeah, he is a former Kansas City Tar. I think he was on the 610. And then he was on ESPN for a while. Up All Night with Nick Wright.
He's funny. He's adamantly pro LeBron James and anything Kansas City. So you can needle him by just saying anti-Kansas City stuff. And he's really smart, but smart alecky. But it is funny. And it'd be hard to debate with him about the way he pumps up Kansas City. So we're glad to have him on our side.
And the way he makes fun of people who are out there saying that, come on. Rigging the things. I should have been out betting games, but I wasn't. I should have been out betting games when the Broncos were good, especially when they played the Chiefs, because I knew the refs were going to screw the Chiefs and let Denver win. That was the only reason they were winning the games. I should have been betting all my money on Denver and John Elway.
If betting was easy, we'd have a lot more success stories out there.
You have an obvious thing out there that one team is getting all the calls from the league. It's not as hard as you think, Mike. Not in that scenario. Nick Wright's figured it out.
But they have, what are they, 3 losses, 4 losses? What do they got?
Chiefs?
Yeah.
2.
No.
1.
And the 1 was the last game of this.
Well, they've got 2. It was Denver and Buffalo.
Okay. Right, so it's not guaranteed, so it...
Well, if you take the money line, whatever they are right now, 19, 20 games, I think you come out on top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Law of average.
Law of average. Okay, coming up, we're going to talk with Kyle Cree is going to be in studio, and then we'll talk Hoisington Wrestling and Mike Corson going one more time on the Panther Sports. It's Sports Day here on KVGB, brought to you by Great Bend Rec, dedicated to improving the community and the lives of our individuals. Eller Automotive Repair. They specialize in wheel alignments, oil changes, general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks, and C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company, following the orange signs south of 10th and Harrison. Sports Day rolling on right after this.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
C&E Doors, this is Cindy.
Me, Mom! I passed my math test!
Great job, Hadley. I knew counting all those parts in our huge inventory would help out.
Don't forget about the springs!
That's right. We have the most in-stock springs of anyone in western Kansas.
Well, I don't know if our inventory is making me smarter or just giving me a headache.
Garage doors, service, and repairs at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
It's time to talk Great Bend High School basketball with head coach Kyle Cree on Sports Day.
Welcome back, Sports Day here on KVGB. Our show brought to you by Equity Bank. Here when you need them, bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Also, the Animal Medical Center in Great Bend. Large or small, they take care of them all, and by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Head coach Kyle Cree joining us here in the Mayo Money Management Studios today. Busy time of year, especially you go to a tournament last week, so we had to let some of the guys go to class today. Yeah. That's surprise. We got to make sure they're taking care of business over there for sure.
We've all had a busy. We had four away games, or if you include those tournament games, and 6 days and. I don't know. I can't even count anymore. It's been a lot. Yeah. So I just thought it was probably best for the guys to stay in class. I know some of our upperclassmen, they are not only exceptional athletes, but they're really good students. And I think some of them are starting to stress out from missing class. So hopefully next week we can have some of those guys join me.
We talk about athletes, and they're still students. Student athletes. So take me through a day of, say, Ian Premer right now.
I mean, it's hard to tell when you think about what Ian has going on a daily basis. But right now it is an open session, I guess you want to call it. I don't know the best word, but coaches can actually contact him and come visit the high school. So it seems like just about every day there's at least one coach, if not more. The other night at TMP, I think there was four college football coaches there to watch, and thankfully he got a couple dunks, and I think he got a nice one in front of Venables.
Yeah, right down there on the end.
and the dunk was awesome, but, I mean, Daxton's pass was pretty impressive, too. He skipped that baby diagonal across the court and kind of, it was a perfect pass. So yeah, Ian's got a lot going on.
Trigonometry.
Yeah, I mean, it's way out of my league. I mean, I'm just a social studies teacher. So when you start talking about chemistry and physics and trigonometry and some of those other things, but I think about a guy like Ben as a senior. He's enrolled in some classes at Great Bend High School, and then in the afternoon he is taking a science class, and it's the study of science or the study of blood, I'm pretty sure, and it has a fancy name. So.
Molecular biology?
Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds pretty good to me. I skipped over those on the class selections when I was going through school, but that's impressive.
Yes, and so I don't even want to try to pronounce the name of the class because I don't want to embarrass myself or anybody else. So yeah, we've got guys that are involved in not only athletics but in the classroom.
Yeah, you come in there and TMP the other night. Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, this is going to be really neat. We got all this. It's Salinas, the same thing. Yeah, boy, what we've got. So, how does your team handle the? I mean, you look at Ian over there sitting around his guys. I mean, it's just like he's just like any other guy, right?
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know that it changes a whole lot for us. I mean, I know when they show up to practice, it seems like our guys are maybe a little bit more energetic.
Yeah,
enthusiastic. So from a coaching standpoint, I don't mind. Coach Beck does a good job, and Ian communicating with me and let me know like who's going to be at practice, who's Ian got to talk to, who's going to be at the games. But overall, I mean, it's been a positive experience, and I think the good thing is Ian is so level-headed and humble, and still cares about what we're doing as a basketball team, what we're doing as a high school. I'm sure he's still being a great son and a brother at home. So, I mean, it helps that Ian just kind of has it all put together.
So Duke was there on Friday night, and it was Duke football.
Yes, Duke football.
Okay.
And he gets to go, like I was mentioning, he gets to go to visit there for football this weekend, but he's actually invited to a Duke, North Carolina basketball game. So I know he is very excited. All the men on the Premer family get to go. So Dad, Alec, and Ian get to go to a Duke basketball game, and Mandy and Kinsey will be at a track meet or a cross-country meet I believe in Emporia. So divide and conquer with the Premer family.
Well, and then you got, Cameron Indoor. That's not a bad way to get a weekend after you take on your big rival in Hayes High coming up tomorrow. So Hayes High, Great Bend, here we go again. Back into the conference grind now. Both teams, both 2-0 in league play. And here we go again, Kyle. Another matchup with the Indians. Thoughts about this one?
Hayes is always going to be a good basketball team. They've got a ton of athletes. Just the community of Hayes, it seems like they do a good job developing kids. And I'm sure they got programs for littles. They probably start playing basketball in kindergarten or, first grade in Hayes. So, every year Hayes is going to have a good basketball team, and there's no way around it. So it's definitely a team that we are excited to play. But with that being said, it's just, 1 or 2 games of our season. So we're going to give it everything we got. But, regardless if we win or lose, it's not going to make or break our season.
What stands out about this edition of Hayes High basketball, this year's team?
Really, the first thing I think is defensively and how hard they play. Those guys get after it. They're going to get on the floor if there's a loose ball. It seems like they play well together. They'll try a little bit of a run and jump in the half court, a 1-2-2 press. So defensively, they're really good. And then on the other side, I think the Reuter kid on the inside is really good. He's pretty skilled, pretty comparable to the Snyder kid from Central. And that's what we've kind of talked about this week as a coaching staff. It would be interesting to see Salina Central and Hayes play, just to see those big body, offensive lineman type basketball players.
Who can shoot the three a little bit.
Yeah, he shoots it a lot more this year. The Reuter kid does, and the Snyder kid from Central, he can shoot it too. So those guys got some touch. They're not just big, strong kids without any touch or, without any footwork. The Reuter kid does a good job shooting, and his footwork in the post is pretty good.
Trey Oakley had a couple good games against you last year. They got 15 in their win at Hayes. What kind of skills does he bring that can cause team problems?
Oakley, he's an energy guy. He's always going to go 110. He doesn't take a play off, and he gets after it. He's really good at crashing the offensive boards. And then on the other side, defensively, it'll be interesting to see who he guards for us. But it seems like a lot of times he's guarding the other team's best scorer on the perimeter.
So it's basketball season's underway. It started Tuesday. We got all tournament stuff out. This is my favorite time of year. Yet it's still, you kind of get into the dog days. Playing all these games and everything. Other than Cooper, of course, who's out right now, how's everybody doing? There's all this sickness going around and things like that.
For our team, I think that we did have some sickness the week of Pratt, and then maybe a week or two ago. I know Daxton last week maybe wasn't feeling the best. But overall, I think our guys do a good job of taking care of their bodies and staying hydrated. Coach Beck helped us out a little bit yesterday and filled up a little ice tub bath type thing so the guys could get in there for a minute or two after practice. And for me, as a coach, I've kind of realized that X's, O's, and drills and all those things are super important, but so is resting the body. So yesterday, we had a normal practice, but we probably did some things where we watched film a little bit longer, maybe walk through some things that Hayes does, and not only so we can be sharp mentally, but so their bodies can rest just a little bit.
Okay. I know that you watch a lot of basketball other than Great Bend, and of course next week you'll get a little bit more chance because we'll have a week between games right now. As you look at 5A, some things that interesting tidbits that you've seen in the 5A class right now that's taking place here as we head down the stretch here in February.
I think, when you look at some of those teams at the top of 5A, KC Piper is a really good basketball team, and got the opportunity to watch the double or triple overtime game against Derby. They played in the championship of the Dodge City tournament. And they're good. And I've also watched them play Mill Valley. Another team that impresses me is Capon. Just the way they play defense.
And they whopped Collegiate, didn't they?
Yeah. And I did not see that game, but Capon, they're the real deal, defending champs. And then another team is Highland Park. They get after it, and Coach Williams does an excellent job. He's an old I-70 league basketball player, so I'm pretty sure he went to Topeka West. So those are three of the teams when I think about the top of 5A and who we really want to prepare for and hopefully get to play at the state tournament. Are those three teams?
Yeah, and it's interesting, and I know that the KBCA rankings, that's just something, I like them. I don't get too upset one way or the other if something happens, but it was interesting to note, and I don't know, it's a tip of the hat to you, Andover moved up one spot after they lose to you, so...
Yeah, see, I didn't realize that. I knew they were in the top 10, and I think...
Yeah, they moved from 8 to 7 this week.
Okay, so, that's cool, and the good thing about the KBCA rankings... it is coaches voting.
Mm-hmm.
It's coaches gathering all that information. So, there is some validity and some truth to some of those rankings. But, if you're ranked number 4 on January 28th, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make it to state or, win playoff games or win the league. So it is cool, and it's cool for our kids and our family and our program, but we still got to work every day and realize that rankings don't necessarily equal wins.
So how do you look at this? We've got 1 month left. Is this kind of when basketball? For me, this is the fun time now. You get into league play, and now it's the home stretch now.
Yeah, it's league play, and the WAC is fun to coach in. When we travel to Garden, Dodge, Liberal, and Hayes, the environments are pretty cool to coach in. The kids love it. Everybody's super familiar with each other. But it's also a time where you can kind of reflect on the things that you've done, maybe make some changes or add some counters to some of the stuff you're running. So, like I said, it's kind of an inside joke with our team, but we're always adding and changing things, whether it's baseline out-of-bounds plays, little wrinkles into our motion offense, new zone sets, different things that we'll do on defense. So there are some times where you reflect, but it's also I think changing things up keeps the kids interested, keeps them sharp, and it makes it to where you're not necessarily going to practice and it's the dog days of the February part of the season. Yeah. So we try to switch things up, and the same thing with drills. We don't do the same drills every day. So I think there's things you can do as a coach to keep it interesting and keep the kids locked in.
I know Aaron Beck kind of goes through, like, you did the first 4 or 5 weeks of the football season, and then the Panthers, then you scout yourself.
Yeah.
Looking for tendencies. You guys do that?
Yeah, and it's that's definitely a thing that we do in basketball. And I think since I do coach football, that maybe some of that stuff does translate and crosses over between basketball and football. But really, I mean, with all the analytics and the stats that we get from Huddle, you would almost be an idiot not to use some of that stuff to your advantage.
That's a fun thing. It's a great asset for broadcasters. I imagine it is for coaches too, right?
Yeah, and it makes it to where we don't necessarily have to make a spreadsheet and hand that out to you guys.
Yeah.
So they do some of that dirty work for us, and I mean, there's some pros and cons. We talk about our 3-point shooting percentage, and we got some guys that maybe should be shooting a better percentage. And I'll make comments to them. They're like, "Well, my shooting percentage." And I'm like, "Yes, we look at it, but when Jake shoots the ball, like I'm not thinking about his shooting percentage.
No.
All I'm thinking is that thing's going in." The same thing with Ben. I couldn't tell you what his 3-point shooting percentage is right now throughout the whole season, but within the past 2 weeks, when he lets that thing fly, I feel like it's going in.
One more question, I'll let you go. So, Dax Minton's pass to Ian Premer, where I love Dax's eyes get big. Okay, did he put? Was that a curveball?
Yeah,
I think he put a curve because he had to lower it down a little bit.
Yeah,
it had some spin on it.
I've been talking to a lot of people how impressive the dunk was for Ian, but man, that pass, I think he threw a slider. That thing had some heat,
it did.
A little bit of spin on it.
Shop
and,
Dillon's for thousands of appetizing
that's
ingredients
the baseball
and
side
big savings.
of Dax
Dillon's,
or
fresh
the
for
quarterback
everyone.
in him, and that's why I encourage kids to play as many sports, don't specialize, because baseball things translate to basketball and vice versa. So it's good to have kids that can sling the ball and do other things that come from playing other sports.
I kind of figured out what Dax is going to do when he grows up. He's going to be a magician, right? With those hands, he'll pull a rabbit out of his hat or have a quarter. With those quick hands of his, it's amazing to watch.
Yeah, kind of being sneaky. I could see him being a salesman, though. Like, if you guys need a good salesman, he could talk to just about anybody. Daxton does not know a stranger. So,
all right. Thanks, Kyle. We'll see you tomorrow night at the Field House. Head coach Kyle Cree with us here on Sports Day. We'll have more of the show coming up right after this.
Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, and today we want to give a shout out to all the supporting cast at these basketball games. We have some great young men and young women on the court, but we also have some great young men and women playing their instruments, cheering, dancing, all those things. Let's clap for them. When they perform and get done, let's show them a round of applause, show them some love as well, because they deserve it. Dr. Nels here, Animal Medical Center, large or small, we take care of them all.
Jumpstart your education with Barton Online. You can pick up a class or earn an associate degree for less than half the cost of a university. We are always enrolling. Start when it works for you. Choose from 5 sessions throughout the semester, including 16, 8, and 4-week options. Save big on the way toward your career or tackle your gen eds with our low-cost pathway. Visit online.bartoncccc.edu and enroll today.
Working the land is by nature a dirty job. What fuels me to get it done? The generations of farmers who've worked the soil before me. What fuels my equipment? Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster, a premium diesel fuel with an additive package that's 40% more effective at breaking down engine deposits. The cleanest fuel yet for the dirtiest of jobs. Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster, fueled by innovation, powered to perform.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by Hoisington sophomore Nevaeh Graves and freshman Trinity Graves, pair of wrestlers over at Hoisington High School. And also Nevaeh is a cheerleader and Trinity is a dancer. Got you out of school today, girls. Smile. We'll start with kind of warming up over there, but always talking to people. How did you get into wrestling, Trinity?
My older brother did it, and I just, I thought it looked cool whenever I would watch his matches, and I kind of just wanted to join in on it.
Talking about Talon?
Yeah.
And you coming up in, like we were talking, you're a middle schooler, you're a freshman this year. For either of you, did this seem some of the success that Hoisington has had over the years kind of say, I want to go wrestle for Hoisington High School?
Yeah. It showed that, like, the dedication that the girls and boys put into the wrestling team and the confidence that they're building up from being wrestlers, it showed that I want to join that. I want to gain that confidence. I want to be a leader to the younger wrestlers that are wanting to join our Cardinal wrestling, like our kids club wrestlers. I want to be a leader to them. So it just shows that I want that confidence.
And so you guys are wrestling in the wintertime, but also basketball season's going on. Nevaeh, I've seen you cheer a couple times, and the dance team comes out. There's Trinity. What do you like better, the cheerleading, dancing stuff, or do you like the wrestling?
I like wrestling a lot more. I mean, it's a lot more enjoyable. I get along with the girls very well on my wrestling team. Wrestling makes me happy.
I prefer wrestling because I love aggression. I love throwing girls. The only good thing about cheer, I mean, I love my cheer team. I love my cheer captain, Gentry. I love all my girls. But the good thing about being cheer is I can be loud and express everything, but wrestling, I can be even louder and throw the girls.
And so, yeah, sibling rivalry, and you got the brother who wrestles and plays all kinds of sports. Guys fight at home much? Breaking tables and stuff?
Oh, yeah, all the time, every day.
But you are a state medalist last year as a freshman, Nevaeh. Some really nice wins this year. So let's talk about one of the ones where, what was the girl ranked? The 30-second pin?
Second. She was ranked second. I can't pronounce her name. Something Mink.
So when you go into that match, did you know she was number 2?
I did. I went in, and when I found out she was number 2, I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go in with, like, I'm going to get her. I'm going to pin her. Went in, wrestled her, got her down. There was a point in the match where I was almost flipped to my back, and I was like, I can't let this happen. I need a win. I need to get first. I get first, then that I'll place, like, get a better ranking and everything. Well, once I pinned her, I got up, and I was, like, shocked. I was so surprised, and I was so happy. I, like, crying, everything. But I just went in like I was going to get her.
So being that aggressive, does it ever work against you? Is it easy to get off your back when you're going up against a high-caliber opponent like that?
Sometimes it depends. When I get in a headlock, 100% not. Like, if I bridge hard enough or bridge good enough, I could probably get out of it. But when it comes to headlocks are my weaknesses.
And you were telling me all kinds of stuff about, I always think it's interesting, all the other sports, they get to scout stuff. You guys have a preference on whether or not you're seeing your opponents ahead of matches?
No.
And so how do you approach it when you're going out there? Somebody coaching you up, or you got your own game plan?
I got my own game plan, but usually I don't go by that game plan. I usually go by something completely different.
And it's legitimate in wrestling. I want to run a backdoor. We want to run number 3 in basketball. Well, that's pre-designed. As a wrestler, you don't know what that other person's going to do. So how much of what you do on the mat is on the fly, Trinity? Or Nevaeh? Deer in the headlights look. Like
she's a little shocked right now. I don't really know. I don't know.
Well, we'll just ask you this one. So you're coming up. You're still pretty young as a sophomore, freshman. What are you doing to become a good wrestler? Is it a whole lot of weight room stuff, technique stuff? What do you got to be to?
Well, last year, I had an injury during practice, so I got out of the weight room. And everything, and I'm trying to get back into the weight room and start working on my legs some more and get that strength back that I lost, so I can get all that. But mostly just practice.
So you're telling me you've beat some of these top-ranked girls and you're not even 100%?
Yeah.
And just being you as a state medalist as a freshman, how much does that put extra pressure on you to do well this year? Or do you you want to do better at state this year?
I want to do 100% better. I want to get a higher ranking at state this year. I want to beat the number 1 ranked girl. I know that'll be a challenge, but I want to beat the number ranked girl, and I want to fulfill what I started my freshman year.
What happens when you hear this?
Okay, we don't talk about this.
No, so what I like is your mom posts stuff on but you go out there, it's business. You could get hurt out there, but you're also able to have fun. How important is that part of the sport, that you're out there with your teammates having fun before and after?
It's always better. So it's not good to go out and not have fun, not laugh, not experience the time that you have there, because the time you have in high school goes by so fast that you realize you're losing the time that you could have spent with your team. Like, we're losing 2 of our best girls this year, and it's gone by in a flash. And not having fun and not experiencing it enough shows that you're just giving up your high school years to just focus on something. You need to at least have some giggles. So me and our senior, Haley Halinde, usually just go out there and cheer on our team and wobble.
Well, we're talking to Hoisington sophomore Nevaeh Graves, and we've got freshman Trinity Graves here. Trinity, what's it mean just to have your sister out there? It looks like you're a lot quieter. So does it almost break the ice for you to have a couple kids goofing off?
I mean, there's times where it's kind of embarrassing to see them out there dancing. But, there's also times where I'll get up and I'll join them just because it looks fun. And, I mean, you just want to have fun.
And I asked you guys this off air, but your girls, the sport's been officially sanctioned by Acacia for, 4 or 5 years now. What does wrestling do for teenage girls?
It brings out, so girls get bullied for their builds. I got bullied for my build, getting called a linebacker and all this stuff. That pushed me to where if I'm going to be called a linebacker and look like a linebacker, might as well put some work into it and use that strength against girls on the mat. So then people, ever since I joined wrestling, I haven't been called a linebacker. So I'm very proud of myself.
I'm waiting for the phone to ring. I think Zach Baird's going to call.
Oh.
They got the spot open on the linebacker on the football field.
Yay!
Trinity, how about you? Just you're a freshman. To me, it's a way to get out there. I never played sports, so I think it would be fun to be a freshman and getting your name out there some.
Yeah.
And Trinity, I bugged you before, but your sister's in the rankings. I have faith that you'll get there someday. What do you got to do to get into those rankings?
I'm gonna work. I don't look at any of the rankings. If I'm wrestling a girl, I just go out there. I do what I can do to win. If a move doesn't work, I try my best to move to another one that will work. I'm going to keep on having the same confidence that I have right now. I believe I can get up there someday.
One more probably for you guys, just regionals coming up here quicker than most sports. You've been there before. You've made it out of regionals. Yep. What's the expectations going into this thing?
Good mentality. Don't be scared to go into a match, because if you're going to go in scared in a match, that's going to mess with your mindset, and you're going to know you're going to end up losing. Go in ready to win and know what place you want and get that place.
Let's get it done. We've been talking to Hoisington sophomore Nevaeh Graves, freshman Trinity Graves. Fun guys, fun having you guys in. Good luck, and we'll catch you guys some other time.
Thank you.
More Sports Day after this.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Senior Doors, this is Hadley.
Hadley, what are we going to do today?
You have to work at Senior Doors. What if there's another power outage?
You're right, Hadley. People rely on us to be able to get into their houses and businesses. That is why we sell electric operators with battery backups and have been serving the community longer than anyone.
Does that mean you're getting old, Papa?
Not old, experienced.
Garage door service and repair at C&E Doors in Great Bend and Hayes.
It's all
Sports, leisure, fitness and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend. Or check out the website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Sports Day presents On the Prowl with Mike Corson, an inside look at all the sports taking place at Great Bend High School.
Welcome back to Sports Day, 1590 KVGB 95.5 FM. Mike Corson joined today by members of the Great Bend High School cheer squad. We've got sponsor Sarah Burkhead. Girls, I'll let you introduce yourselves.
All right, I'm Elian Reed. I'm a senior. I'm Leah Mai. I'm a senior.
I'm Briley Richter, and I'm a senior.
All right, so I'm curious to know, I've always been kind of soft-spoken. How many of you girls are soft-spoken? Nobody? So I was hoping that you could say, no, you can teach yourself not to be soft-spoken. So if you're not supposed, just natural-born cheerleaders?
Yeah, of course. We are all natural-born cheerleaders, yes.
When did you start then?
Well, I started in middle school, 7th grade.
I started at 7 years old.
7th grade as well.
Okay, so what are you cheering for when you're 7 years old?
The Oregon competition team.
Why cheerleading, or is it part, like, were y'all dancers too when you were little?
Yes, I was. I started dancing when I was 3.
So what is the conversion dancing to cheerleading?
Well, I'm still a dancer, so, like, you know, the technical elements are kind of like, they're same, but they're very, very different. Like, you have to be very sharp whenever you're doing stuff, but, yeah, I mean, it's different, but similar, if that makes sense.
And Coach, you can answer this one. How big is stunting? You guys, what are some of the stunts, and how do you become proficient at those without injuring yourselves?
So there's a lot of things that go into that, but really it's just practice and experience. I think one of the challenges that we face sometimes is when not everyone can be there for like a game or, you know, for a performance, and we have to kind of like mix and match people. And so that's just kind of where I think the challenge comes in. But I think these girls like a challenge, and they usually always, you know, do a really good job for me, and I don't really have to worry about them. They work hard. And so, yeah, injury-wise, though, I think just getting used to your team and just knowing what not to do, really. Yeah.
But, you guys aren't really like flying like they do in college, but the holding, do you guys do the single, what do we call that, Coach?
Co-ed? Like whenever?
Yeah.
We don't.
We don't. We do have a boy on our squad for the first time this year in a while, so that's cool, and we're hoping to maybe work with him more and kind of figure stuff out like that. But he just joined for basketball season, so we've been kind of just really on the go for that right now. Yeah, so.
Well, it's still holding a human person over your head in your high school girls, so what is the learning curve on that? Are there drops in the practices?
Oh, yeah. There's mistakes, but we learn from them, and we have mats. We're just working to, like, constantly working on it, and you got to be strong. Mm-hmm. That's really it.
Yeah, you're athletes.
And trust each other.
There's also constantly dropping, and we're always trying to learn from, like, if it's the flyer that's doing it or if it's, like, the bases that are doing it. So we're always trying to figure out where the issue is coming from, so we try to fix that, too.
I'd also say that trust is a big thing. Like, I'm personally not a flyer, but seeing it from their standpoint, it's a big trust thing. You have to learn to trust the people below you, and that your team will just be there whenever you fall.
And we'll get to this in a second, but do you guys also do kind of stunt work at football games, or is it mostly sideline?
Yeah, we do both. So, like, at basketball games, we do it during, like, timeouts and stuff, and then we also do it, like, on sidelines whenever we're cheering at football games.
And is it easier to do it outdoors versus with the kind of the upper deck of the basketball gym?
I personally think it's easier to do it outside, only because there's more of a cushion on the turf than there is on the track than there is of like the basketball floor. So I personally think if anything were to go wrong, then it would be better to be on a track than a basketball court.
And somebody just dropped some facts when they came in and said, football is better?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It's just so much fun. The Friday night lights, like everyone getting hyped. It's just such a fun environment to be in.
And I also feel like there's so many more like fans there on football nights than basketball. So all the fans are more like in it and hype rather than the basketball.
What about the weather, though?
Yeah. Well, we've actually gotten lucky.
It's
like
pros and cons.
Yeah. The last couple of games was like very cold and rainy. That's not a good side. But like when football first starts, it's great. It's warm. We don't have to wear our long sleeve shirts. Like it's great.
So what's it like? Obviously, the Panther basketball team ranked number 4 now, getting a lot of people into the gymnasium. Everything starts with the cheerleaders. What's it like when you guys are going out there doing the fight song and all that stuff, getting the crowd into the game before the game starts?
It's fun to see everybody just kind of get excited before the games and even in between. Just during the whole game, you see the expression on everybody's face, even the players, just the excitement for everybody.
And so you guys are going to do certain things during certain timeouts. Is all that pre-scheduled, or do you go off the fly sometimes?
It's kind of both. I kind of always have a plan, and then I kind of leave it up to these girls to talk and communicate about what they want to do, what they want to, which cheer they want to do during, a quarter or whatever. So it's kind of both. We plan, but I also kind of give them some free rein to be creative. So.
And we always hype up the pep band here. How big is having the Great Bend High School pep band kind of providing the backbone of what you guys do?
Games would not be the same without them. It would be
Agreed.
very silent. Nothing would be as exciting if they weren't there. Whenever we go out for like timeouts or whatever, they are there, and like we shine through them, if that makes sense.
What is the travel situation? Are you guys on team buses, or do you get your own little Suburban still?
So this year we've been lucky enough, kind of unlucky at the same time. I don't have an assistant this year, just me. So we have been able to take buses everywhere. So that has been a huge plus. I think we all get to be together on one bus and bond more. It's just a fun time. And then I'm really grateful for the bus drivers for sure.
That's what I thought. Back in the day, it was the Suburbans. I'm like, it's what, 6-7 high school girls in a Suburban.
Yep.
How about the bonds you guys do create in those situations?
We still create a lot of bonds in the back of the bus.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Yes. Yes. All of it. It usually goes seniors in the back and then upper class or lower classmen, like towards the front. But yeah, we're always chatting. We're always talking about different random things.
Just on the way home the other night, they were just all laughing their heads off in the back, and I'm just like clearing the front. But I was like, I love this. Like, this is part of why I love my job. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna say even like seniors at the back and underclassmen toward the front, everybody still just intermingles and just kind of talks to each other and form memories that way too.
We can just go around here. So what is your favorite part of cheerleading then?
My favorite part is being around the girls, obviously. I mean, these two are in my stunt group. We've been a stunt group since the 7th grade. I do look forward to cheer. It's something I like seeing the crowd's faces on hype basketball or football games. I also like seeing like the little kids we influence in the crowd. They're all those little girls and boys that are always so happy to see us.
Oh, I'm gonna stop you there because you forget the impact of that until you see like a little 4-year-old that knows every move and is wearing a uniform.
Yeah, that's also something tomorrow night we get to have some girls cheer with us for the first half of the game. So that'll be pretty exciting. They're going to come practice with us today too. So
and that's
little
something else.
Girls, yeah.
Yeah, they're always looking up to us no matter what.
Talking to members of the Great Bend High School cheer squad, Elle, your favorite thing about cheerleading?
I just love performing, like no matter what it is, dance, cheer, singing, anything. I love to perform. I love to just show off what I have. I do flips. I tumble. So I like to do that. And I also really love the people. That's so basic, but I just really like the environment that everyone brings to the team. We all have our little personalities, but yeah.
You know what that sounds like? A cheerleader. You gotta...
My favorite memory is kind of along with like the little ones we see on the side and above us, just cheering with us, doing our motions with us. It's a good thing to see. It makes us really happy. Also, just the excitement on everybody's face. Like I said earlier, just looking up in the crowd and seeing people smiling and like the team members, just everybody getting along and exciting.
Got about 30 seconds here, so real quick on this one. Hayes coming to town tomorrow night. Is it extra cheery for when Hayes is in town?
Absolutely, 100%.
Viewers have been listening to Great Bend High School Cheerleaders. We had sponsor Sarah Burkhead and cheerleaders Ellen Reed, Briley Richter, and Leah Mai. Thanks for what you do. Sometimes it's overlooked, but obviously it would be a completely different atmosphere without the cheerleaders. Good luck Friday.
Thank you.
More sports day after this.
If you're needing a healthcare plan for your business, let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's need. Regardless if you're a large corporation or a small business on Main Street, Freedom Claims Management Incorporated can help you provide your employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. Visit freedomclaimsinc.com where you can schedule a free, no obligation health assessment today. Freedom Claims Management Incorporated in Great Bend.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Take your passion for creating magic behind the curtain to new levels with Barton Community College's Technical Theater program. This new program is designed for students to learn how to create breathtaking light shows, run a state-of-the-art soundboard, and build captivating sets. Unleash your creativity and earn an associate's degree to build the skills you need for a career in theater. Now enrolling for the fall semester. Learn more at techtheater.bartonccc.edu.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Sports Day today brought to you in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country. Freedom Claims Management, innovative healthcare plans for your business. Let them take care of everything for you from start to finish. And continued support, they have you covered. And American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department featuring number 2 clear diesel, bulk fuel, E10, fuel delivery, all your lubricants, and fuel supplies. Nice job today. You're just becoming an accomplished broadcaster along as an accomplished writer.
I've said it again. We've all said it again. The kids always bring it, but we talk to so many of the same kids, and it's always real fun to get some new ones in here and terrify them a little bit.
That was a good question you asked because we always think, okay, we got this big, it's Hayes High tomorrow, right? It's a rivalry game. Well, if you're on the Great Bend cheer squad, you want to outdo the Hayes High cheer squad that's in town, right?
I would think that would be an excellent environment because Hayes is going to bring it, so it's going to be just amped up all 4 sides of the building versus sometimes it's not that way.
Where are you going to be set up tomorrow for autographs and things like that, pictures?
Get the baseline video camera. I just want to watch.
So you throwing it out there, just don't...
Yeah, I'll be working.
Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me.
You got to get the dunks. Don't distract.
On the show tomorrow, you're going to be talking bowling with Coach Feldbauer, correct?
Yep, they've been busy.
Okay, Jeremy Combs will be in tomorrow. And we'll talk high school basketball with Connor Nickel from Sunflower Sports Solutions. Getting ready. Fun weekend coming up here. We'll talk all about it tomorrow on Sports Day on KVGB.